Hello everyone and welcome to today's tutorial with Joanne Mulligan. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute pumpkin card. There's no stamping involved in this one. Today we're going to just use framelets. We're going to use an oval framelit from the Layering Ovals framelit set. We're going to use this cute little swirl from the Cupcake Cutouts. And this right here, we're going to use the top hat from Snow Friends, the Snow Friends framelits. When I do cards, sometimes I like to look at things and look and see how I can use them in other ways. This is supposed to be to use icing or a background on the cupcakes, and this is a little top hat for the little penguin or the snowman out of that set. So I try to think of something when I want to do my pumpkin. I was trying to think, what could I use as a stem? I wanted something that came up and out and bowed around. I'm thinking, great, the top hat would work perfect for that. Then for my vines, I wanted something that would swirl, and I thought, great, the cupcake swirl would be perfect for that. So when I put the card together, I looked at the different little elements and it just all came together perfectly. Let's get started and I'll show you what to do. First we're going to take some crumb cake cardstock and we're going to fold that. I will have all the measurements for all the cardstock on my website as I always do, so just make sure you click the link in the description of the video and it'll take you right to the blog and I'll have all the cardstock measurements right there for you. Then I'm going to take a piece of Halloween Designer Series paper. This is specialty paper, and I'm going to use a little snail on the back, and I'm going to attach that to the front of my card base. Okay, that I'm going to set aside. Next I'm going to take a small piece of crumb cake cardstock. I'm going to take my brick embossing folder and we're going to run this right through, put it right inside here. We're going to run that through the Big Shot. Again, if you've never used the Big Shot or you'd like some lessons on how to use the Big Shot, I do have a video on my website as well showing how to use the Big Shot with the embossing folders and the framelits and thinlits. So we're going to run that right through there and it is going to come out like this. That is going to get mounted on a piece of garden green cardstock. Oops. There we go. My little trap door closed on me there. And we are going to mount that on a piece of garden green like I said. And that whole thing is going to get mounted right onto my card base. Okay. Next up, we're going to take, this is a great way to use up some scrap pieces. I had some scrap pieces of pumpkin pie, and you're going to cut 5 of the oval framelits, and I'll have the dimensions for the oval in the description as well, so you know which oval framelit I used. And I just cut out 5 oval framelits, ran it through the Big Shot. So when I take those out, if you notice on the card, I want to have a little shading so it gave the, looks like it's rounded. It's not flat. With it being this way, it would look too flat, so I want to give it some dimension on there. So what I'm going to do is take pumpkin pie classic ink and a sponge. We're going to dip it right into there and we're going to go right around and we're going to sponge all those edges. And we're going to do that on all 5 pieces. And through the magic of video, all 5 are now complete. Voila! Next up, we're going to take a piece of scrap garden green, and we'll take another piece of scrap for the swirl as well. And we're just going to run those to the Big Shot. Like I said, I used up all scrap pieces, so I'll just take some garden green and run it through, and when it comes out, it's going to look like that. Put those aside, and what I'm going to do is the same thing I did on there. I want my little hat to have a little dimension on it so it looks like a stem and it looks a little rounded, not flat. So I'm going to take a sponge and some garden green ink and we're going to sponge right around the edges. And that is what I did for that. Okay, now comes the fun part, putting it all together. So you're going to want to lay 2 down, then 2 on this side, and then 1 goes in the middle. And you just want to kind of maneuver it around so it gets a pumpkin shape. You have to kind of finagle it a little bit. So what I did was I took a little bit of snail, and so I'm going to put that right on top of there. Now that I like how that shape looked. And then I'm going to just put a little snail there, just tack it down. And same on this side. We're going to move this, I'm just going to turn around here, get it back into the position I wanted it. Add a little bit of snail and put that. So now I have my pumpkin. Then all I'm going to do is take a little snail and put the stem on. And then we're going to cut up our little swirls here to make our vines. So I'm just going to cut about here, and then we'll have some on this side, and we'll go to about here. And then we've got this one over here. So I'm going to cut it right about there. And what I did with these was I used some multi-purpose glue. And we just went and put little tiny dabs all around. Not a lot, just little tiny bits. And this has a tendency to get everywhere, so I'm going to use a pair of tweezers. And we're just going to pick it up and we're going to attach it that way. Put it right on our vine. Same on this side. A little bit of glue go around. There we go. I'm going to use my tweezers again because I don't want to get glue everywhere. And we're going to put it right on the top and put that right down. And this one, the same thing. We're going to use a little tiny bit of glue, but I want it to kind of come off, so I'm only going to put my glue on this part right here. And I just kind of attached it a little bit. Oops, I did it kind of upside down there, didn't I? Well, we're going to go this way. We'll wipe all that glue off and try again. Do it this way. Okay. And then we're going to take it and we're just going to attach it onto here and give us a little swirl on there. Changed it up just a little bit. So we can have our vines going that way, or we can have our vines going up and around like I did on that one. So what I'm going to do after that is just take some dimensionals and put those on my pumpkin. I'm going to put one on the top here. I want to make sure the stem is supported. And then we will peel these off, and now I have glue all over my fingers, so everything's going to stick. If you've ever used the Tombow glue, you know that stuff sticks to everything. It's an awesome product, really works well, but it gets onto everything. Oops. And see, it's stuck right to my finger now. Get that little guy off there. Come on, there we go. And then that goes, make sure I'm going the right way. Cannot tell you how many times I've put cards together upside down. And there you go. Just by simply, there is no stamping on here, but just by simply using a few framelits in ways other than they were intended, you have a beautiful pumpkin. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. For a list of the products used in the card dimensions, please click the link in the video description. Be sure to visit my website, StampToYouDrop.com, for more inspiration and videos. I can also be found on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. Thank you so much for watching, and happy stamping!